Kash Patel, who Kurt Metzger is a huge fan of, is the director of the FBI. And one of
I liked him. It actually kind of
like
him. Bongino, I never trusted. I didn't trust him, but I was like, oh, this guy seems like he wants to do something.
Well, Kash Patel is the director of the FBI after being responsible for helping to expose the FBI's abuses in Russiagate. He helped uncover the fact that the FBI was relying on the Clinton-funded Steele dossier and lying about it, among many other surveillance abuses during Russiagate. So now Kash Patel is at the head of the FBI. And as the head of the FBI, he's still learning about all the deception that his predecessors at the FBI were carrying out to frame Trump as a Russian asset. And he discussed this on Joe Rogan.
In 90 seconds.
Okay.
Could you imagine a time in the United States of America in the 21st century where a political party would go overseas and acquire fake foreign intelligence from a foreign intelligence officer funded by donations to that political party in the United States of America, then take that material, package it, walk it to the FBI, literally, and say, hey, we need you to surveil the opponent of our political party who happens to be running for the president of the United States.
This is true. He's talking about the fact that the FBI in July 2016 sent an agent over to meet with Christopher Steele, a former British spy, who gave the FBI the fake Steele dossier. And the person, by the way, who authorized the FBI to go and meet with Christopher Steele was Victoria Nuland, who was an architect of the Maidan coup in Ukraine. Of course.
Oh, Noodleman,
The FBI then took that fake dossier and used it to get surveillance warrants on Carter Page, who was a Trump campaign volunteer. And that allowed them to basically surveil everybody else on the campaign. And soon they opened up new investigations of other Trump campaign members, including Michael Flynn.
It was crazy. And by the way, I can imagine that. To answer his question, can you imagine? Yeah, no, that's like not even the top 10 of the worst things the FBI has done.
Well, let's hear more about what the FBI did from Kash Patel.
Then convinced the FBI to go into a secret federal FISA court that I used to use to manhunt terrorists and say, hey, I need you to wiretap, essentially, all the comms in and around Trump camp because of the material we gave you, and then have that FBI lie to the federal court and the judge in that warrant application, which is a felony, and intentionally remove information of innocence from that application just to get it above the threshold so the judge would sign it. That's Russiagate. That's what they did. And you remember the years and years of reporting surrounding Russiagate. The FBI would never lie. They would never do that. The leadership there is above reproach. James Comey, Andy McCabe, Peter Strzok. The list goes on. We caught him red-handed. We caught him. You've seen the text messages. You've seen the documentation. You've seen the reports. But when I did that, when I exposed that initially as a staffer on the Hill, Adam Schiff comes out and has his cronies leak to the world that I am acting as a genocidal dictator. There was actually an article that called me
genocidal.
Hang on, it gets better.
Dictator.
Yeah, no, it gets better.
How do you get to be a dictator?
I don't know. Genocidal one, let alone, right? Like, you know, it's a twofer.
His words don't even mean anything anymore.
No, there's an article out there that they called me Torquemada, the guy from the Spanish Inquisition.
Jesus Christ.
And I was a staffer. So the rule was you can ding elected representatives all you want in the media. You don't touch staffers. They didn't care because they knew what I had unearthed was the biggest political criminal scheme ever perpetrated by portions of the FBI leadership.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Well, Kurt, I think it was. They framed a presidential candidate in his campaign as Russian assets. And they didn't just do that while he was running for office. After he took office, they continued it, in fact, expanded it, and used it to undermine his presidency.
Yeah, it's bad.
Big scandal. It's a pretty big scandal.
They didn't cover up, helping to kill the president, such as the JFK thing, and later the RFK thing. They didn't say, hey, there's no such thing as the Italian mafia. That was the Illuminati of its time. J. Edgar Hoover goes, no, it doesn't exist, because they had pictures of him blowing a guy. So, no, it's not. Kash said he wanted to make a museum of all their worst things. Remember? I don't know if it was a day one museum.
All right. So you think, okay. All right.
I think he's a punk like anyone that's like an institutionalist, like the great Brian Williams of NBC goes, I'm an institutionalist. And COVID's a good example. All these people They're like cows at the end of the day. They don't go, oh, clearly this is crap. I've been lied to at every level. No, that's not up to Iraq level lie. I mean, it's horrible. But you see how he's in his little world where he's like, this is the worst thing that ever happened. Well, what about what happened with Israel, Kash? Now,
well, certainly, yeah. Okay, well, yeah. On that front, I agree with you. These people will never stand up to Israel, and in fact, they actually do to critics of Israel what was done to them. They were framed as Russian agents.
Yeah.
And then what they'll do to critics of Israel is they'll take away their free speech rights and then falsely claim that they're agents of Hamas or some other.
If you do that, enemy. It's a turd in the pool.
Okay, well, I agree with that.
Do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But to me, it doesn't take away from the fact that Kash Patel did help expose this scandal. And to me, it is significant. He's now running the FBI, the same institution that was used to frame Trump and his campaign as Russian agents. And Kash Patel, as head of the FBI, just made this discovery, which he also talked about with Joe Rogan.
Me, as the director of the FBI, the former Russiagate guy, when I first got to the Bureau, found a room that Comey and others hid from the world in the Hoover Building.
Arrest him.
Full of documents and computer.
Oh, arrest him. Where's the arrest, Kash?
Well,
all talk.
He's going to address that, I think.
Hard drives that no one had ever seen or heard of. Locked the key and hid access and just said, no one's ever going to find this place.
What?
Yeah. So my guys are going through that right now.
And what's in there?
A lot of stuff.
Like what?
I mean, that's the thing. People are like, well, okay, go arrest him. And I'm like, okay, well, how about you let me run a methodical investigation while I give over information? One of the things we gave over.
He just answered you, Craig. He says he's running the investigation.
Oh, the Trump shooter acted alone. Here's some of his investigating. Trump shooter acted alone. If you think
you think he's covering that up too?
They did cover it up. Bongino and him said the same fucking thing. You didn't see it?
Right. Okay.
Wait. Janet Comey prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. Look how suspicious he is of the Comey family. He don't think something might be up if he hasn't seen a tape from the thing that his daughter. This is all bullshit.
Let's finish out this clip.
Over before this, the room deal was. I don't know if you remember who Nelly Ohr is. It doesn't really matter. Nelly Ohr's husband, Bruce Ohr, was like the number 4 at the Department of Justice, and he was the one who introduced the world of Christopher Steele, the guy that started Russiagate. Well, the entire time her husband was doing that at DOJ, she, Nelly Ohr, was working on an outside contract to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. So she goes to the Hill and testifies as a result of our investigation, right, under oath. She said, I never worked, and I'm paraphrasing, I never worked with my husband on any of that. I would never do that. Well, what did Grassley put out?
So what he's explaining here is that Nelly Ohr worked with Fusion GPS, the same firm hired by the Clinton campaign to frame Trump as a Russian agent by putting out the Steele dossier, while her husband, Bruce Ohr, was a top official at the DOJ during this time, and she was passing fake collusion claims to her husband, Bruce Ohr, and was lying about it. And that was one of the things that was concealed by the FBI in that hidden room that Kash Patel is talking about.
Okay.
Yesterday?
So wait. You can say that?
Let's finish the clip. Let's finish the clip.
The Nelly Ohr documentation that the FBI hid to the world, that we gave them, where Nelly Ohr is caught red-handed providing information to her husband, thumb drives related to Trump-Russia collusion, directly proving that Nelly Ohr lied to Congress. Felony. Can't prosecute her. Statute of limitations is gone. That's just one example.
Wow. What a dirty business.
I have a question. Hey, okay, fair enough, Kash. It's a great explanation so far. I'm wrong. You remember James O'Keefe? He got his door kicked in because the Diary of Ashley Biden, which was 100% real. And if you looked into it, it's crazy. It's not inappropriate. He showered with his daughter till she's 15. That's just inappropriate to you. They kicked his door in. They finally sent him the warrant. Did you see that? O'Keefe got the transparent Kash Patel FBI sent him the warrant that they kicked his door in when he was trying to comply.
Okay, listen.
All redacted.
Okay,
all redacted.
Okay. I don't know any of these rabbit holes you're going down, so I can't. What I know
this
is that
the news that's on now.
Okay. I'm fine. What I do know is that there's still been no accountability, really, for what I think is a major scandal. The FBI being weaponized to frame Trump and his campaign as Russian agents, And what we've just had here is a new revelation in that, which is that the new director of the FBI is claiming that evidence was concealed by the FBI in a secret room that he discovered. I think that's pretty significant. I'm looking forward to finding out. I'm looking forward to finding out more.
Come see us on tour in Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.